What is going on, everybody, and welcome back. So hopefully the lighting is decent enough from the garage light, but I want to show you guys my latest endeavor. I have ventured out of the realm of cars and trucks, and I went straight to school buses. So I'll show you guys. I purchased a Chevrolet Express school bus, just kind of based on thinking that I could use the transmission and then scrap the rest, maybe pull the motor too. But then I got it and I was like, this thing's kind of nice. I got to do something with it, you know? So first things first, I'm going to rebuild the transmission because the transmission is blown. That's why I got it for so cheap. So I'm going to be able to rebuild it hopefully for cheap and then get it back as a running and driving unit. But in the meantime, I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to do with it. So I could totally just flip it and make some money. You know, I think it'll be worth a decent amount of money. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think I should do with this thing. I'm curious what you guys think, because it seems like, I don't know, it seems like a good idea to just sell it. I could use the trans and take the engine and a couple other things and then try to junk it, but I don't know what's going to tow this thing out of here, being that it's a dually. You need something big to take it, and they're probably going to charge me to take it. So I'm thinking I got to roll this thing. I didn't realize how big it was. I didn't realize it was a 15 passenger when I was going to look at it, but I just bought it anyway because it was a good deal. So now I'm trying to figure out what do I do with it. I could do a conversion into like an RV and totally make an RV out of it, but I think I'd have too much money into it at that point, so that would kind of be not a good idea. But yeah, I got to grab the key. But I'll show you guys what it looks like inside. I had to tear the radio out for the guy who wanted it, but it's pretty nice inside. Let me get the stuff, and so I got it all jacked up. I'm gonna start pulling the trans out tonight. It's unfortunately dark early, but I'm gonna try to work into the night here. It's not that cold tonight, so hopefully I can get just a little bit done. You know, at least get started. Try to figure out where I'm headed with this thing. So I haven't tried to get into this thing after jacking it up. It's pretty tall. Alright. But yeah, so this thing is pretty sweet. You're pretty standard bus here, you know. I got the door and everything. Works pretty good. Seats are a little torn, but it's not too bad. It's a little bit dirty. It's definitely on a nice angle here based on the slope we're on, but yeah, I did have to rip the radio out like I said, so there's kind of a hole there, but I still think it's a good solid unit here, and I think it would make a great conversion into an RV or something like that for somebody. It's a really solid chassis. There's a little bit of rot here and there, but it's at its early stages, and it could be stopped with a little bit of rust converter, I think. So yeah, it's looking pretty good. And I think that somebody will make a great bus out of this once I'm done fixing it. So I'm going to get to work pulling the trans. So first things first, we got to close the door. And we got to pop the hood. Oh, that's definitely a big fall out of there. I lost something out of my pocket. Oh, I lost the bolt off the seat. That's what it was. I think I lost the other one too. Oh, I found it. Oh, my luck is pretty good tonight. I think there are only two. Alrighty. That's good. We're lucky. Alrighty. Let's get in here. Alright. So it is a 6-liter from 2007. The guy told me it's a new engine in here, but I don't know if I believe it. We're going to have to find out once we get in there a little deeper, but it doesn't seem new to me. But granted, all the accessory drive and everything that you can see right now is kind of on the outside would be from the other engine, so maybe the block's new, but it still looks kind of rotted to me, so I don't know. It's tough for me to say whether he's lying or not. Seems like it wouldn't be under warranty being an 07, but whatever. I'm going to throw a blanket under it, lay under there. I'm going to disconnect the battery and get started. So hopefully this is a decent angle for you guys. I know it might be upside down, but I'm just IDing it right now. Obviously, I looked at the RPOs and everything. I knew it had the 4L80, but I'm IDing it as a late model here because I can see it's got the, if you guys can see it up there, it's got the cooler fitting on the rear, so it is fed from the rear. So that means this is a later model. I assume this is probably one of the later models, being that it's an '07. Even though the express van stuff was kind of weird, but I think that they would be one of the last models. So that's why I kind of wanted this bus. I figured it would be like one of the later 480s, a nice strong one. So I may try to keep this trans out of here and put a different one back in it. Not really sure on that, but I am looking into all the options. So I think first thing I'm going to do is pull the drive shaft. I want to find out what this, there's like an oily substance all over the place here. It's like dripping here. I'm not sure what it is. Gotta find out where the transmission cooler is. I know this is some kind of cooler. I think this is for the AC in the rear AC unit, because it has one, which is pretty cool. Yes, it's for air conditioning. Nice. Yeah, this is a pretty nice bus, honestly. It's got a little bit of frame rot over here, more than I thought, but it's not that bad yet, and it could be stopped. I think now is a good time to address it. Now's a good time to fix it, and it'll be okay. Rockers are decent, they're still there. A little bit of starting rust, but it's all in the early stages. So, yeah, just got to, this guy routed the camera wire all weird over here. It's like, that's funny. I'm gonna have to, he should have just ran it with this harness here. Anyway, I'm gonna get started pulling the drive shaft, and then we gotta get the exhaust down, which is gonna be less than fun. I'm not gonna lie. I hate pulling down these big pipes on these trucks or these buses. I've done so many of these. Oh, it's such a pain in the butt. But anyway, yeah, I'm gonna pull all this stuff off of it, and this thing is gonna get parked because we're pulling the trans. So this is where it's gonna sit for the winter. Hopefully not too long. Hopefully just like a few weeks. But yeah, I'm gonna try to get this trans pulled out within the next few nights. Well, remember how I said I was lucky? My luck ran out. I was moving out to grab a pry bar, and a piece of rust soaked in some kind of fluid fell right in my eyeball, and I don't know what's all over the bottom of this thing. Maybe it's undercoating. I'm not really sure what the heck is going on with it, but it's it got in my eye, and I've been rinsing my eye out for 15 minutes, and I'm sure some of you guys know how that feels. But I finally feel a little bit of relief. My eye feels better. So I got back to work and pulled out the drive shaft. So I knew a little bit of fluid was going to come out, so I went ahead and I threw a bucket under there. It looks like it's just dribbling now, so it's not like a lot. But that's the first step. Now I'm going to start working on the exhaust nuts. Probably best to use an air gun. It's getting pretty late. 7:30. I don't know. It's a little bit late to be using air tools. I might just try to crack them loose by hand if I can get them. And I'll try to wrench them out. But a lot of times they can be tough, and you should heat up the nuts and stuff. I probably should just wait and try to do it the right way. So maybe I'll work on some other stuff like harnesses and things like that tonight. Alright, so it's been probably a week. It's been raining out for most of these days, and the ground's been super wet. It actually snowed too. It was all kinds of crazy. Basically, I only got little sporadic moments to go out and work on the bus when it was warm enough. And last night I actually took a propane heater, aimed it at myself, and I got out there and I finished it. So I mean, there wasn't really much to do. It's a bus. It's like any other truck. Taking the transmissions out is really easy. I mean, all you really got to do is the exhaust, which is the hard part. I basically snapped every single exhaust stud on this thing. It was the worst experience ever. That's also part of the reason I didn't film it. It was just terrible. I snapped everything. I was punching stuff. I punched myself in the mouth, snapping bolts. So that was awesome. And now that that's over, I'm happy. I got the cats right here. I took these off the other night. And once I got these off, it was pretty much, I was on the home stretch. We just got to figure out a solution for all this snapped hardware. So I'm just going to have to nut and bolt all the stuff here. And over on the flanges there, I'm going to have to weld nuts to what's left on the flanges and weld it. And then I'm going to buy an oxygen acetylene torch because I don't have one. And I'm going to heat up the ear and then try to just impact it off. That's just how I've done it in the past and at work. And it works, but it's just I don't have that tool here. So need to up on the arsenal. But anyway, I got it done. The transmission's here. Sorry I didn't show more of the process, but how many of you are really taking a transmission out of a bus? You know, you don't need to see this. It is what it is. 4L80, it comes out. You know, you got the 6 or the 7 bolts. But yeah, this is it. It came out, you know, not too hard. I had a tough time separating it. It's not as easy as a 4L60 would. It wraps all the way around the bottom on the 60, and you can kind of jam a screwdriver in the bottom. But in this one, I just had to, like, you know, stick something in here to get it. And yeah, but everything worked out good, and it came out nicely. So all we got to do now is try to get the fluid out of it somehow. And once I get the fluid drained out of it, then I will take it apart, and I'll show you guys that process. I think that's probably going to be a separate video, but yeah, I'll probably just make this a quick video here, and you guys can stay tuned for this transmission disassembly, and we're going to see what's wrong with this thing. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, even though it was short and I didn't really even do much on camera. Yeah, just something that I'm up to. Also working on the Honda, also still working on the truck. I got some drop knuckles and a transmission cooler for that. So the projects are picking up here. We're going crazy. So I'm gonna work on getting this transmission situated, and I'll see you guys in the next video with this thing getting disassembled on the bench.